The Democrats and the mainstream media, so essentially the left, actually like what's happening right now in Ukraine. They do. They actually like what's happening in Ukraine. Now you might be thinking, well, Liz, they don't like death. The left are bad people. Some of them are even evil, but don't go so far as to say they like death. Okay, I can take that point. Now, what I'm saying here is not that they like death. I understand that a lot of them don't necessarily like death. What they are okay with, though, they're okay. The left and the Democrats and the mainstream media don't mind exploiting a crisis, even a crisis that involves mass casualties like what's happening in Ukraine, in order to serve their own agenda. That is what the left is doing right now. They don't mind whatever the crisis may be. They will use it to exploit their own agenda. In fact, on Tuesday night, Biden said during his State of the Union address, this was kind of like the line in his speech, I thought, which was the most overlooked. I thought it was really critically important and there wasn't a lot of coverage of it, but this is what Biden said. He said, quote, "We are the only nation who has turned every crisis we faced into an opportunity." And I thought, well, that sounds just like Rahm Emanuel, never let a crisis go to waste. That's certainly been the Biden administration's thesis or their slogan or their modus operandi during this first year of their administration. They are fine with pinning on Ukrainian colors on their lapels during the State of the Union. They are fine with changing their profile picture on Twitter to a Ukrainian flag. They are fine with that kind of virtue signaling, which is contradictory, by the way, of the Biden administration's actual actions leading up to Ukraine. Biden could have prevented Ukraine or Putin from invading Ukraine. That's neither here nor there for this purpose. What I'm saying is the mainstream media and the left actually like when there are crises so severe, so traumatizing, so emotionally draining that we, the American people, are more likely not to notice anything else that's going on around us. It allows them, crises like this and being obsessive about crises like what's happening in Ukraine, allow them to skate past news stories, developments, or corruption that would otherwise expose their radical leftist agenda. This is what we're going to talk about today, because the particular things that have happened over the course of the past 6 days, if you set Russia and Ukraine aside, are actually shocking. And I don't say that to be hyperbolic. I work with news, around news all the time. I see a lot of bad things happen, a lot of dramatic things. This stuff is actually legitimately shocking. And yet, because the Democrats are fine exploiting Russia and Ukraine, you probably haven't heard a single word about it